Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. All I can say is, look what's back. It is Call of Cthulhu, and there's the big man himself in the background. I'm an HP Lovecraft fan, so sue me. But anyway, before I started the stream, and bloody it took forever. Myself and Thomas, thank God for him, played this, and we tried to kill the Shambler. We did, so that's a problem area taken care of. It was a pain in my ass! Just... Anyway, disclaimer, I'm not for kids, I can't be loud, and I do swear a lot, so viewer discretion is advised. But let's give her.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
You kinda did. I was
attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew about it?
You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery.
What?
And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
And you're giving this away for your charge.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Fair enough. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Charles Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to the Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless bookstore. Pierce decides to pay a visit to the library a visit. Ooh. Blood. Not a good sign. What's going on here? Okay. Hawkins. The Shambler is a painting. Irene Sanders doesn't seem to know what she hates the most, Sarah Hawkins or her work. The fact remains that she accused of her costing her husband sanity. He apparently gouged out his own eyes under the influence of the painting. I must see it. The key to the gallery is probably in the office. The Shambler's more than a painting. Something happened in the Sanders gallery. I don't think that I'm still affected by the Riverside Institute gases. So what happened could have been a hallucination. A monstrous creature came out of Sarah Hawkins' painting. It chased me all around the gallery. I managed to send it back by stabbing the painting with a dagger bearing a motif I know. Am I losing my mind? Cat found out where the dagger that pushed back the creature came from. A certain Algernon Drake. The creature sold it to Sanders. I've got to speak to him and find out what really happened. Yeah, me too, mate. Anyway, I have points that need to be... Let's put a little bit more into the eloquence.
Where's the bookseller?
Yeah, where is he? Let's pray he's not dead. What's this? The history of Darkwater. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up until then, the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans. I'm sorry I butchered that. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all of the disappeared whales after a night of ferocious combat. The survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, after reading so much Cthulhu, it makes sense. The creature they brought on board could have been Cthulhu. All I can say about that is, okay, calm down, Lovecraft. I know one of you guys is thinking it.
What happened here?
Reconstruction.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
Broken glass.
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
And then something to do with in here, maybe.
What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
I think we just found out. Oh crap, my vision just got distorted, mate!
What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Is that the Necronomicon?
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
But new question. What was it? So obviously there.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
New objective. The nameless bookstore. I left the Sanders house, still shaken by my encounter with the Shambler. Thanks to Cat's indications, I end up at the nameless bookstore, a haunt for devotees of esotericism. The place seems to have been burglarized. Who would have done such a thing? Charles Hawkins tried to burglarize Algernon Drake's bookstore. But how is it possible, given that he is supposed to be dead? There is a lot more behind this story than a mere conjugal drama. What did Sarah Hawkins and Algernon Drake try to hide in the latter's safe? So Algernon Drake is the owner of the bookstore, who also knew Sarah Hawkins. Their relationship went far beyond far beyond that of seller and a faithful client. She helped him to protect an object. They hid it in the back room safe, and Sarah Hawkins painted a strange symbol on the door. Charles Hawkins must have wanted to steal it. I must open this safe and find out what's inside. How can I find the combination? Well, lads and lasses, well, I can already tell you it ain't gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
If someone finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. Sorry, I'm really tired today. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mind can hope to gain access to my most precious possession that lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination can be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combined in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if the celebrated author says, "Order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of imagination." Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination to the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous to fall in the wrong hands. I hope you will be able to appreciate the danger this represents, and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you, nor to suffer from your actions. So I have a medical book now. There. What's in here? Nothing in there. What's about here?
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Apparently.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion, hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of robbery coincides with the Hawkins' last trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. I have to get the safe open.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
A lot, apparently.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions? Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Let's start looking.
A kind of chalice. Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Yes, psychology book. Darkwater History Volume 2. Bingo!
Rumors that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Sanity is still good. Oh my god, I need to draw all of these. I'm shaken up, apparently. So now where's cylinder number 1? That's the thing. Already looked at all of these.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
He needs to listen to them, so...
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Hang on a second. What the hell is going on? Thought I heard something.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers.
White
I
Queen.
see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection.
So, Volume 9.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection?
Arkham Anthology, I need Volume 9. Let's look around the store. Huh?
An old diary. The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Good thing I have a lantern. Shows things that you normally won't see. Said it was the 9th edition of a book. Looks like we're going book hunting, guys.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
Azeroth and Other Horrors. No, that's not it. Hang on, let's check something.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seem particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
So what I found was the right book.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
This is it.
What did Drake say about this collection?
Also known as Nightmare Lyrics, this collection of poems was sensationally received when they first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works in esotericism and the supernatural. Can I have a look? No, I can't touch that book. Darn it! What's this? Would you read the book? Read it.
What does this strange book contain? This
I
book contains unholy knowledge.
This book catalogs and classifies creatures that I have never heard of. Divinities from the stars, other creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work of bestiaria myth, without giving details onto the mythology, which refers to... It's more on the occultism. Don't ask me how I didn't notice that before. I don't know. You guys heard that too, right? Like while I was working through that book and working on the lock.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
That is volume 9. Unless it's not. Let's go through all of them again.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in it. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Interesting. Blood from when trying to get in.
The Queen has little protection.
Yeah. Let's see what I can...
The Chalice of Knowledge.
This goblet is very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? I don't know. Unless... Okay, if the combination turns out to be 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna be freaking pissed. Nope. I'm gonna keep trying different combos. Anyway, he said 9th edition of the Arkham series, and I keep picking it up, but it won't let me really look at it.
What did Drake say about this collection?
It's Azathoth and Other Horrors by... and it's volume 9. What's that? Why can't...
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Up here. You know, ladder of some sort. This game really does make you think. Didn't see that before. Green blood as well as with normal human blood. Well, never mind. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I'll go through this on my own time. Because, let's face it, I'm gonna be looking through this anyways, trying to scratch my brain. So, yeah. I'll see you all tomorrow with some more of the Call of Cthulhu. So until then, peace out all, be safe, and be kind to each other.